45-43.
Yeah, I was at that game. It was a real grind defensive type of game.
Sounds like a rock fight.
Yeah.
Jalen Griffith, Michael Ratliff, Sam Lewis, they will be in the backcourt. The Rubens will be in the front court for Simeon. Meanwhile, for Kenwood, maybe the best team they've ever had. We talked about Day in the open, but then you've got the Smith brothers, Jaden and Tyler, also in the lineup. Solomon Mosley also will be a factor in this game, a 6'8" big, and he's going to be looking at the Rubens a lot. So this is just a classic CPS championship game matchup. It will be fast, it will be loud, it will be hard fought.
And it will be a lot of fun.
You know, you mentioned the fact that Kenwood had beat Simeon earlier. That game was at Simeon.
Yeah.
And Rob, talking to Rob earlier today, Rob Smith, coach of Simeon, he said, you know, we're not playing that great right now. Our defense is keeping us in the game. And just like you mentioned, that block shot at the end of the Curry game, that's right. What they get.
And right off the bat, a nice easy layup there by Johnson. Mosley, I'm sorry.
And to go on what Rick was talking about from his conversation with Robert Smith, Simeon has been turning the ball over in bunches.
And again, you know, what he says is they're almost too unselfish. He says some of their turnovers are because they're just not shooting the first good shot. That one was unforced.
Difficult feed into double coverage on Super Bowl weekend. So Kenwood bucket on offense, stop on defense, and now they get a chance to try and score again. Off the switch, Day Ames, his first touch, passes up the shot, top of the key, that's a 2, and that's knocked in by Jaden Smith.
Jaden Smith did not miss a shot in the game that got these guys to the championship game. He was 7 for 7 against Prospectives on Thursday.
Here's Jalen Griffith as Simeon goes into their offensive set. Aggressive defense by Kenwood. They almost got a turnover, but not quite. That was a three-pointer off the back of the iron.
When Wes Rubin hits those shots, Simeon is tough. He started the year in that Chicago Classic, I think, hitting 5 threes from NBA range.
Kenwood looking at going 3 for 3. Three-pointer on the way. 3 for 3 and a 3 for Day Ames.
Well, you know Day Ames, like you said, Coach, he's going to score.
And you can't give him that much space.
No.
Tried to ice that wing ball screen, push it down, and the big just didn't come up to guard him.
Kenwood has jumped out to a 7-0 lead, and now they have another stop on defense and another chance to score. Three-pointer on the way. Dooling couldn't hit it. But an offensive rebound by Tyler Smith. Day Ames, 2 in a row, no. And a very hard-working rebound by Jaden Smith.
Simeon's got to take care of their defensive board. They've already given up 3 offensive rebounds in the first couple minutes of the game.
Rob Smith, his final year at Simeon. He will retire at the end of the year. This is the 18th city championship game for the Simeon Wolverines.
And one of the most humble guys you'd ever want to meet.
Yeah.
For a guy that's won 7 state championships and 7 city championships, and it's all about the kids.
Yeah, I think, like the mayor said, we're going to really miss him.
A little bit of a forced shot, and we will have an offensive foul. First foul of the game.
I think Jaden Smith coming over the back.
There's Mike Urban, who has done a tremendous job here at Kenwood. 23 and 5. They played a national schedule. He actually put Kenwood basketball on the map.
They had never been to a super sectional before last year. They lost to Whitney Young.
Boy, they are just swarming in the post, double teaming every catch.
One of the things I love about CPS basketball at this level is how the whole floor is defended. It's really amazing to watch. Three-pointer from the corner. That was nothing but net by Wes Rubin.
And his first shot, even though it missed, was right there.
Yeah, he was going to Loyola, but then
he's going to Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa now.
Yeah, it was almost like a package deal. Both brothers were going.
And that's a block by Wes Rubin, and the ball goes out of bounds, and Simeon is going to get it. They're down by 4 early.
I don't know if there was a block of the ball or block of the arm. It looked like a little bit of contact.
Here it is again. A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
We talked about it in the girls' game. It's a city call versus a suburban call. Beautiful feed between the Rubens. He got bumped off his spot and just stayed up and put it in. Miles Rubin with his first bucket of the day.
You think they've done that before, huh?
Kenwood wants to run, and they do. What an aggressive move to the basket by Tyler Smith. And here comes the fast pace.
Boy, Tyler Smith put the afterburners on.
Yeah, and after a made basket, giving up a transition basket isn't going to make Coach Smith happy. You cannot let that happen. But a lot faster pace and a lot cleaner game than they played at Simeon a few weeks ago.
Somebody might want to get a hand in Wes Rubin's face. 2 3-pointers, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point game. Mike Irvin already going to the bench. Calvin Robbins is going to check in. When you made the mention of Robert Smith not being happy, the thought always runs through your mind of, is he going to make a line change like he does sometimes?
Yeah, just bring in 5 new guys.
Well, Kenwood's a little deeper, I would say, than Simeon is this year. Kenwood just brings in, top 5 players in the class with every class.
Wes Rubin has made 2 3-pointers from that near corner, and you would have to think that, you know what, give it to him a third time.
Great look.
So Wes Rubin has 2 3-pointers and 2 assists.
It's all Rubin.
It's all Rubin.
Rubin sandwich there.
And both of the assists, he's fed his brother Miles inside. Simeon has their first lead of the game.
Well, you think they've done this before in the driveway, maybe?
It's a 10-2 run for Simeon right now. Day-Day Ames, lucky he didn't get called for a hook there.
Ratliff just face guarded Day-Day Ames. He's not even considering giving help.
Jalen Griffith looked like he wanted to push the pace, but Kenwood got back. 3-pointer from the other side. That was off the back of the iron by Sam Lewis. Here come the Broncos. Tyler Smith. He'll stop. He'll pop. He'll rattle one in and out. And then the rebound pulled down by Sam Lewis.
Lewis is kind of the X factor for Simeon. He is really streaky. He's just getting accustomed to playing public league basketball. Played at Oak Park for 3 years. And he's getting accustomed to the speed of the game, and he's just coming into his own. But if he plays well, Simeon turns it into another level.
Chris Riddle, Calvin Robbins check in for Kenwood.
And not only the speed of the game, he had to get used to the physicalness of the game, too. Because, like we said, it's a big difference between a suburban foul and a city foul.
And the speed.
Yeah.
Well, that spot on the floor is being kind to the Wolverines. Sam Lewis makes one from the exact spot that Wes Rubin has already made, too.
Well, you hear Coach Irvin hollering high-low. Here's your high. Can you get it down low?
Robbins had his shot blocked.
I hope we get a chance to see Robbins in the open court today because the kid is a freak athlete.
Well, we've seen a lot of this season, and we saw a lot of it Thursday night when the Rubin blocked 6 shots.
And he blocked a shot at the end of the 4th overtime, too.
He blocked the shot to beat up Moline when sides collide, that great event Joe Hendrickson puts on.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Simeon's 4 overtime game against Curie.
Yeah.
So, it's been a little less than 48 hours since then. These are 17 and 18-year-old kids. I don't think, especially because when they play AAU ball, they play 3 or 4 games in a day. I think it's pretty hard to get these caliber of players tired. But does a 4 overtime game the other night have any effect?
I say no.
I say if you're in great shape, no. If you're not in good shape, yes.
Well, Curry and Simeon have been known to play exceptional games. They played one in Pontiac this year. Played one, to get to this game.
Coming up on a minute remaining in the first quarter, and really pretty much everything we expected. Simeon leading by 4 right now. Day-Day Ames open for a 3, and he knocks it down.
Whoa.
A little Day-Day.
Boy, that got the crowd on his feet.
Now, relatively speaking, Kenwood does not make a lot of 3s, but Day-Day Ames has already got 2. From the corner, Sam Lewis missed that one. Tyler Smith Chance to bring it up the floor quickly. 42 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Pass.
And Robbins puts it away.
Great pass, great finish.
You're not going to stop Roberts when he catches it 2 feet from the basket.
So much for that lead. Kenwood up by 1.
I love the pace of this game.
But you know Kenwood wants a pace like this.
Great high-low there.
Little quick on the shot by Miles Rubin. He had more time than he thought. He missed.
Could have dunked it.
Little runner that was halfway down and then went in for Chris Riddle. 6 seconds. Jalen Griffith. Sam Lewis online. Little long. Wow. A rapidly played opening quarter and everything we expected. Kenwood got out to a fast start. Simeon took the lead. Kenwood leads at the end of the first quarter. Broncos 18, Wolverines 15. This is the game of the week on CW 26. Followers on Instagram. Move of the quarter brought to you by SIU. Day Ames. Well, this is dead aim on a three-pointer. This thing is right down the bottom of the drain. Look at this.
It's also called breaking ankles. Because you go down like Lewis went down, they got the crowd excited. That's the move of the quarter, brought to you by SIU Carbondale.
How about this, gentlemen? Shooting in the first quarter combined between the two teams, 14 of 29. Kenny will tell you that's 67%.
Well, I know it's close to 50.
And there one foul between the two teams. So that's why it seems why it was so cleanly played.
And you know it's CPS championship basketball because they have now opened the upper deck. They've run out of room downstairs.
Beautiful feed. Rubin passed out of it, and Jalen Griffith gets in on the three-point act. That's the 4th three-pointer of the game for the Wolverines. We're tied at 18.
It's unbelievable Jalen Griffith does not have a Division I scholarship.
Yeah, what are people thinking?
I mean, I know you look at him, you see his size, but all he does is win.
Yeah.
How about Tyler Smith there, guys? That was impressive. The thing that always impresses me, too, about this caliber of basketball is the speed. I remember the first time I ever sat courtside at an NBA game. I was like, okay, this is a whole different animal.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful dunk contested and thrown down. Sam Lewis.
Wow.
You're gonna come contest my three. I'm gonna stick one down your throat.
Short little jumper, and Tyler Smith had to throw it over the Sears Tower, which is how Mike Oliver put it after that 4 overtime game. He said scoring over the Rubens is like trying to throw it over the Sears Tower. Or the Willis Tower, I guess is what some people call it.
Let's stay with Sears.
Yeah, we'll stay with Sears.
Yeah, I mean, we've got about 180 years of Chicagoanness between the three of us. It's the Sears Tower to us. There's a drive to the bucket. Unable to finish, and then the Wolverines with the roll.
Now he got a dunk on
Got
the
it
other
at the end. The Rubin.
There you go.
It pays not to run back on defense.
Well, that pass that was picked off was on its way to Rick Malnati until it was intercepted.
Rick was ready, had his hands ready, catch and shoot position.
Triple threat position.
Oh, wow, what a screen.
Tied at 22, by the way. Robbins, free throw line jumper, wouldn't go. And the rebound was cleared by Miles Rubin. Here come the Wolverines again. Sam Lewis, runner right hand. Okay, he made that shot look a lot easier than it really was.
Well, he's a great player.
Yeah, he's going to Toledo.
That's a great level for him, too.
Perfect level for him. And, you know, I think the acclimation to the public league took him a little bit, but now he's showing up.
Day Ames had his shot blocked by Miles Rubin. Here comes the break again, and partially blocked, shot missed. It's going to be a foul. Wes Rubin will go to the line, and one of the Kenwood Broncos is over in the photographer's aisle, and it is Tyler Smith.
Yeah, they may need to move those guys out of there. Tyler Smith, here it is. He went for the basketball, and he went to the photographers.
Yeah, there's a line there, and the keisters are behind the line, but the feet are not.
Right.
Kenny, I remember doing a game here years and years ago. Who was the big guy from King?
Sherrod Griffith or Tommy Hamilton?
He went.
Smith?
Yes. Yes.
Smith. Oh, Leon.
Leon did a dunk in this building, and the game had to be held up while they repositioned the standard.
He wound up being drafted right out of high school in the first round.
Dallas Mavericks.
29th pick. Yeah. Wow, look at that upper deck behind the basket starting to fill in.
I think they were here for the Kenny McReynolds,
halftime. Well,
halftime.
Everybody was welcome.
We were doing a little math, though.
Okay.
I think when you got honored, it said 2,500 games you announced. And I was...
Not all basketball,
If you're
though.
150, maybe. But
No.
I don't think you're...
No. So you got to remember, this account soccer, football,
How many
track.
soccer...
Well, wait a second. Now, hang on here, Rick. Kenny, you tell me, what's the most memorable soccer game you ever did?
Well, there's a young lady by the name of Kaylee Blaney that scored 2 goals. And I got a chance to be part of that broadcast.
Kenny, it validated Kaylee's career as a high school athlete. She was player of the game and got interviewed by Kenny McReynolds. Keys to the game. Kenny, you want to handle Simeon?
Well, Simeon said you got to keep him off the offensive glass, get back in transition, and take care of the basketball, which is Simeon basketball.
And then, Rick, how about for Kenwood?
Well, I think Kenwood, they got to stay out of foul trouble. They got to rebound well because of the size that Simeon presents, and then hold them to 35% shooting. That's going to be it. They haven't done that so far.
Yeah, both teams were well north of 50 in that opening quarter of play. So Simeon leading by 3 right now. Kenwood with the basketball. Tyler Smith still over on the bench for Kenwood after that foul. Boy, Robbins really had nowhere to go with it. He was looking for some help, and it wasn't coming.
Yeah, nobody moved.
Yeah, they were looking high-low, and it was, he was pushed out too far to give him the basketball. He just needs to reverse it a little quicker.
Isaiah Green-fed Robbins, shot blocked, but Kenwood gets it right back.
Yeah, you can't go in like that with Ruben there. Ruben's going to block that every time.
Boy, Kenwood looking a little bit disorganized on offense, and then when that happens, eventually you're going to have a turnover. That's exactly what happened.
I think when that happens, you got to get Data Ames the basketball.
Yes.
Wolverines basketball.
Did you count all those IHSA track meets? Oh, coming right to me.
I got it. Hey, on Kenny McReynolds' day.
Did you count all the track meets we did together
I counted
in the late 90s?
We did too. Yes, I did. It was high school events, not all basketball.
Were they recorded on your phone? Like, everything you recorded on your phone?
We didn't have phones back then.
No, you in the girls' game, you said you did have a phone. You had the big brick phone.
Yeah, but we did a track meet before the brick phone came out.
Rebound and a run to the basket that results in nothing, and then that's going to be a block and a foul by Solomon Mosley.
Rico, Jim and I did the state track finals, 5 years in a row?
Oh, gosh, we did them a bunch of years.
Yeah, I bet there was a huge following for those.
Well,
if there had been Facebook, Rick, you would not have been able to count how many likes we would have had.
Oh, man, there was a lot of people down in Eastern Illinois and Charleston for the track meet.
Hey, I know you guys interviewed Mike O'Brien between games, but I got to tell you something. The job Mike O'Brien and the job Joe Hendrickson do, just promoting high school basketball. Now, you'd never see anything so much in the Tribune. If it wasn't for the Sun-Times, you wouldn't know what was going on in high school basketball. So you got to give those guys a little shout out. And not only do they do a great job, but they know everybody.
Yes. And I think one reason this place is now have the upper deck open is because of guys like O'Brien and Hendrickson promoting high school sports.
And in Mike's case too, he has made that job what it is, and it's because of Mike's dedication. And he's at games all the time, and he has fought to keep that alive, and he's done an unbelievable job at it. I don't think he gets enough recognition, except for the fact that his rankings are now the standard. When people cite what a team's ranking is, it's coming out of Michael O'Brien's Super 25.
And he puts a lot of thought into it, and he's not taking days off. He's going to every game, and he's going everywhere to watch games.
Right.
Yeah, everywhere I'm at, I see Michael.
He's the best.
And he does the same thing in the fall for football as well. Yeah, the Tribune kind of gave that up a long time ago, didn't it?
Disappointing.
Sam Lewis had to go hard to the basket, and he won't get the bucket, but he will hit a foul. on Jaden Smith.
Well, I always say when you attack the basket, good things happen. And that was a perfect example. When Mr. Lewis gets the basketball, he just attack.
Well, he's having a great start to this game.
So on a make timeout, Kenwood.
You know, going back to Kenny counting up all these events, Rick, you know, and looking back on all the events I've done, I actually, because I was able to do state lacrosse a number of years, I actually had a lineup card with Gabby Malnati on it.
And great lacrosse player.
And so we will get a timeout. 3:49 to go in the second quarter. Simeon leading by 5.
With the score, Wolverines 27.
And remember, in the first quarter, we saw an amazing job by the Rubin brothers, Miles and Wes. And sometimes it was knocking down threes from the outside by Wes. Other times it was feeding it inside. But the Rubin brothers so far in this game have combined for 14 of the 27 points Simeon has put on the board.
Yeah, and a couple of blocks. They do a wonderful job of blocking shots. Like I say, Miles was unbelievable. Blocked 6 when we were here Thursday night. And it wasn't just so much that he blocked 6 shots. He blocked them like in overtime when they really needed them.
Yeah, how about Loyola signing Miles Rubin when he was 6'8", and a couple months later he's 6'10". So here's a guy that right now, if he would have kept his recruitment open, he'd be a high major. Not putting Loyola down.
I know.
But Loyola's more in the mid-major class.
Well, it's called Loyola doing their homework.
Yeah, and then Wes Rubin, again, he picks he goes to Northern Iowa. I love how the ball comes out of his hands. It comes out of his hands pure.
Well, I would have liked to have seen him go to Loyola with his brother like he originally said he was going to do. But again, that's still another good spot for him.
I love when guys pick the right level.
Yes. Whoa, lost control. Well, he never really had a control, Green. It looked like he was out of control from the beginning. And Tyler Smith checks in with me. I told him, go ahead, son. You know, he had to go all the way down.
Well, it's good that he's not hurt.
Yeah.
You know, Rick, I see that all the time where players pick a school that's just not really fit with their ability to play. And the other thing, too, is you see guys maybe have a good year at an MVC or a conference or Ohio, Mid-American or Ohio Valley, and then they go to transfer portal and go to a FBS school, for lack of a better term, and they don't play anymore. It's like stay with the level where you're successful. If you've got the ability to go play in the league, they'll find you.
Well, there's no doubt people will find you. Here's going to be a layup here.
Dane Ames.
Showtime.
6 players have scored for Kenwood, and the Broncos within a possession now.
And Kenwood always changes defense. They're kind of in a 1-1-3 that turns into a 2-3.
I don't know what was better, the catch or the pass or the finish.
I think all 3.
3-pointer on the other end, that one off, and a rebound by Jalen Griffith with 2.5 to go here in the opening half. Simeon leading by 5. Catch, shoot, and make. Sam Lewis, his second 3 of the night.
Sam Lewis is on fuego.
Well, when he started to hit like that, Simeon's hard to beat.
Well, Simeon's making perimeter shots. If Simeon can make perimeter shots, nobody's going to beat him.
Biggest lead of the game for the Wolverines at 8. Ames passes it off. Jaden Smith.
That's just not a good shot.
That looked like a kind of a half shot, half pass. Maybe I shouldn't take this shot.
Yeah, it wasn't in the rhythm. It wasn't smooth.
And sometimes there's a reason you're open. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they don't know each other. They scout each other. So there's a reason sometimes you catch it and there's nobody around you.
You ever hear of a basketball player that played for the University of Wyoming named Sean Dent?
No.
Okay, back when the Wyoming Cowboys had Fennis Dembo and Eric Lechner, I'll finish the thought here in a second. There's another finish by Miles Rubin. Is about 3/4 of the way through a season where Wyoming was ranked in the top 10. Everybody in the WAC figured out that Sean Dent, their point guard, couldn't shoot. So then nobody guarded him the whole rest of the year. And it was really the undoing of the whole season for a very good Wyoming team. as that shot goes over the top.
Well, if you can't shoot, they'll know it.
And Kenwood is taking quick shots. Not only are they not taking good shots, but they're quick shots.
Here was the last basket by the Wolverines.
Boy, look at the nice dribble penetration, nice dish off, and the nice easy layup by Rubin.
Sam Lewis having his hand in that as well.
And a little bit of aggressive play on the defense by Isaiah Green. We only have 9 total, now 10 fouls in this opening half, so unless they really get after it the next 78 seconds, we're not going to get to the bonus.
If you're Kenwood, you don't want to go in the locker room down any more than 10. You're down 10 right now.
Little runner, that one wouldn't go, and the Broncos get a rebound and a chance to cut into the lead as long as they don't turn it over. Day-Day Ames has an open floor, driving to the basket, and he won't get the bucket, but he'll get a chance to score at the line.
You get him going downhill, he is hard to stop.
It's just amazing to me that a guy of his caliber gets out of the state of Illinois.
No. And just think of Kansas State. When he committed to Kansas State, you know, they had just got rid of the old Illinois coach,
Bruce Weber.
Yeah.
And we're regrouping. And now you look at them, I think they're 12th in the country right now.
They're really playing. And that Big 12 is stacked.
And they are having a phenomenal year. And it's a guard-oriented team. Anything you read about that coach down there, I mean, it looks like you picked a great spot.
Mm-hmm.
So where's he going to go next year then? Becomes the question.
I would just love to see him in Chicago. And again, they cannot stop dribble penetration. They just keep coming at you.
Caden Space, his first bucket of the game. 10-point lead for the Wolverines. That matches the biggest of the game so far.
Caden Space, you know, his first game back after a broken thumb was the last time they played. But he is a guy that can really, again, push Simeon over the top.
Played a lot last year. Edwin Dooling with the basketball as time ticks down, and timeout called by Mike Irvin.
There's a foul.
Oh, I think that.
Wow.
Wow.
A blocking foul away from the ball with 20 seconds to go. When you're down 10, Simeon's going to hold for the last shot.
No question.
Worst they're going to do is go in at 10.
Well, you know Simeon will hold for the last shot. That's Simeon basketball.
You get it to Griffith.
I looked up and saw the point. They were pointing right at Mike Irvin. I thought it was a timeout.
I did too.
Griffith's going to just handle this thing, run it down, and make a good decision. They're going to run 2 at him.
Space, 3, back of the iron, no.
He shot it a little early.
4 seconds.
Big basket.
Tyler Smith can't hit. And that will end the opening half. The Simeon Wolverines are looking to add one more CPS title
Yeah, this guy
onto Robert Smith's resume.
He doesn't have enough hands for all the rings he's got.
Like Henri Richard, 11 Stanley Cups. Halftime, you're watching the game of the week on CW 26. Of action, Kenwood actually jumped out to a 7-0 lead off the hop in this game. Highlights are brought to you by SIU Carbondale. Day-Day Ames, who we told you about at the very start of the game, is the player to watch for Kenwood. He started out red hot, hit a couple of 3-pointers. He had 10 points in the opening half of action, but Simeon found their rhythm and their space, especially from that corner spot. Wes Rubin knocked down a couple of 3-pointers to keep Simeon going. Now, Simeon ran out to a lead, but then Kenwood came back. Jaden Smith, a couple of buckets. He had 4 points in the opening half. But then Simeon began to really roll on offense. They got a bucket from Michael Ratliff underneath. Day-Day Ames stepped back on an ankle breaker 3-pointer, but it was about that point of the game that Simeon starts to go on a tear. And they just started to run away from Kenwood, quite frankly, and built up double-digit leads.
Jalen Griffith just there showing, hitting the 3. He only took 1 shot, but he's got 6 assists, no turnovers, and 2 steals, and he handles the ball all the time for Simeon.
Did have a couple of dunks and some showtime from Day-Day there, but that is, look at the halftime highlights from Southern Illinois University. Now, again, both teams shot 50% or better in the first quarter, but that changed in the second.
Wow, look at the free throws.
Yeah, and look at 5 for 11 from 3 for Simeon. If Simeon shoots it at that high a clip from 3-point range, they're unstoppable. You said they got Rubin inside. I mean, you gotta pick your poison when you play them.
Yeah, you can see neither team has really been attacking the basket. Neither team has really been getting to the free throw line a lot today.
Yeah, it's been a clean game.
But just for a spot of reference, if you can shoot anywhere better than 1/3, 33% from three-point land, that's really outstanding, and Simeon's ahead of that. And they've been just tearing it up from the corner down to our left.
Yeah, well, and I don't think it was poor officiating.
No,
I think Kenwood was settling offensively for shots that they can get anytime. They don't need to take bad shots.
And I think it's also great discipline on Simeon. You know they're going to always be well coached.
They're always well coached. Rob Smith, basketball is going to miss Rob Smith.
Oh, without question.
You know who's really going to miss Rob Smith? Mark Kruger. No one over the years, I don't think, has interviewed Rob Smith more on TV than Mark Kruger. And if Simeon does finish the job here in the second half, it would be the 8th city title for Rob Smith. It would be the 11th overall at Simeon.
And this is an emotional day for him. Not because it's his last game, but this is his last Chicago Public League event.
Yes.
And he's grown up in the Public League. He went to Simeon. He's been 26 years a coach. I think he started at Curry with Oliver. Mm-hmm. And what a job he has done.
Oh, unbelievable.
And you know what? If the guy comes in second place in state, people look at it like it's a bad year.
Yeah.
I mean, so every year the pressure on him, and he doesn't seem to be fazed at all by it.
No, just laid back, calm, cool, and collected.
And he keeps his team like that.
Yep.
His team just does what they need to do. They just do what they do. And they've done it year after year after year.
Kenwood turns it over on their opening possession. By the way, Simeon has been to a championship game 8 times in the last decade and a half.
Well, and they always have a guard like Jalen Griffith.
Had his shot blocked, but there's going to be a foul attached to it, and that foul is on Edwin Dooling.
What? Real physical foul there by Dooling.
Well, if you're going to foul somebody, foul somebody.
Yeah, you're going to foul him.
But that ball never left Jalen Griffith's hands the whole possession. They're overplaying everywhere. He kept the ball in his hands, very poised, and goes to the free throw line.
In that triple or quadruple overtime win over Curie, Jalen Griffith had 21 points. That free throw right there was his 4th point of the game.
Well, he does what you need him to do.
Right.
He'll score when you need him to score. He'll assist when you need him to assist. He's averaging 15 a game. He was MVP at the Pontiac Christmas tournament, and Pontiac Christmas tournament's like winning the state championship.
Right, without question.
Gee, a Simeon guard who does what needs to be done. That kind of sounds familiar.
Oh, nice move. Nice block.
Yeah, but get that out of my house.
Miles Rubin with the block. Second chance at a shot. And who touched it last? The answer will be Solomon Mosley.
Kenwood's going to have to find some perimeter shooting. They got 2 threes in both rooms by Dede. They did.
And that'll be a foul on the inbounds pass on...
Foul called against the Broncos, number 5, Edward.
Foul on Dooling is second. You know, somebody reminded me the other day of when Derrick Rose, I believe he was a senior, and there was something written about him in one of the newspapers, I'll leave the writer out of it, about Derrick Rose being selfish. So the next night out, Derrick Rose basically didn't shoot the basketball and he had ungodly number of assists in the game.
As great as he was in high school, he was similar. He did what he needed him to do.
He got Tim Flowers a D1 scholarship.
You giving him an assist on that? Or was it just a bad shot?
No, that's an assist.
Okay, I knew you would, because that's probably how you got him.
That was Michael Ratliff scoring, by the way, and then a steal on the other end, and
Kenwood's in trouble.
That's going to be a tackle called on Dede Ames.
Yeah, Ratcliffe with the steal. Trying to get defense, trying to get offense from your defense. Here it is again. Well, just back him down, nice spin move.
Just with a pass over the rim. It's a new technique.
Smooth as smooth can be, Wes Rubin.
They need a timeout.
Here it comes.
And I know Mike Irvin, when he won a game early, said there's a new sheriff in town. I don't think he knows that Rob Smith's the mayor. He may be the sheriff, but Rob Smith is the mayor.
I tell you, they're not fancy with what they do. They just get it done.
They just do it with class, do it with style, and they do it with talent. They're never short on talent.
Yeah, well, you're never short on talent in Simeon. That's for sure.
But that's another skill that gets overlooked a lot in Rob Smith's career, is he's had to handle all that talent. You got guys that are the 7th and 8th guys that are capable, Division I players not playing as much, and he's had to deal with that. And for however he does it, they stay around, and then they next guy up.
Mm-hmm. And he gets them to play the Simeon way.
Yep.
Kenwood opened up the game on a 7-0 run. Simeon has opened up the second half on a 7-0 run.
And those first couple minutes, as I said earlier, are going to be important. And Kenwood did not answer the bell right here, which is very unusual for a Mike Irvin coach team.
Well, Mike told me, he said, we're ready for the second half, so he was ready.
They're not letting Riddle into the game. No. He didn't enter quick enough.
So that means Mosley will have to come back on, and then Riddle's going to sit down right in front of Rick.
Broncos basketball.
They are starving for a basket right now.
They have yet to score in the second half. Tyler Smith working off the screen by Mosley, and then taken away at the top. Griffith comes up with it, and then Griffith just gets crushed.
Killed.
Oh, he ran right into him full speed. Watch this right here. Here's your speed, here's your steal. What a pow.
We might see a couple of hits like that tomorrow.
Yes.
Super Bowl.
Oh, man.
This is an open field tackle.
Crash.
Boom.
That is number 3 on Tyler Smith, by the way. And it never changes for Simeon over the years. It's the same style of play. It's the same level of discipline play.
Well, just Ratliff catching the ball in the corner and dribbling it out high is it's an underrated play.
As an offense.
And that's on the screen.
Yep. With the elbow out.
Miles Rubin.
Yeah,
that's just the second foul on the Wolverines, and Miles Rubin has both of them.
It's going to be hard when you're in foul trouble. You're the only guy in the team with a foul.
Broncos basketball.
I'm really impressed how this place is filling up.
They probably know it's Kenny McReynolds Day in the city of Chicago.
I tell you. I see your dad have a crowd like this.
I want to know what kind of free stuff we get. 3-pointer on the way. That one. Or no, you get the. Okay, Kenny McReynolds Day means you get the free stuff.
Whatever's free, Kenny has. Don't worry about that.
Sam Lewis might have gotten away with a travel there, folks. Simeon leading by 17.
Kenwood needs something good to happen.
You need to stop. Oh, look at this. Too easy.
And one.
And couldn't hit it. Up the floor, Day Ames. It's 1-on-2, and he tripped over the foot of Jalen Griffith.
I think on the other end, Kenwood might have got away with one, but refs are human too. They start reffing the score a little bit. They know the game's getting a little out of hand. They don't want people turning off the TV. They want to get some exposure. Let's make this game close.
Boy, Kenwood really needs to score.
Still looking for their first bucket of the half.
Ratliff is not letting Day touch.
Little jumper by Calvin Robbins to break the goose egg here in the second half for Kenwood.
Big time.
And that's a big basket.
Yeah, and anytime you talk to anybody about Calvin Robbins, first thing they tell you he's an elite student, a top 10 in his class.
Oh, great.
Kenwood's been known for that. It would be a great educational school.
Griffith trying to turn and get free. Finally does. Runner down the lane and wouldn't go. But there for the foul is Miles Rubin. He has 9.
What a tip by Rubin. That's the way you draw it up. You tip it up. You don't bring it down. Keep it up.
That's what happens when guards penetrate, is the bigs come off of their guy and it allows you to play volleyball with the offensive board.
Quickly going the other way and answering is Chris Riddle. Simeon up 15 with the basketball.
Kenwood's got to turn Simeon over. And
Interesting. That was a beautiful feed and looked like a sure two, but
they gave that ball to Simeon. We got a little extra curricular going.
Dooling had it, but he was on the sideline, and
I think it all started with the call on the side. I think the ball should have been Kenwood's ball.
Right.
We don't get a good look at it there.
So it'll be a double tech. Double tech.
Double technical foul is called against number 5 of the Broncos, Edwin Dooley, and number 10 of the
Little
Wolverines,
shove and went out of
Wesley
bounds.
Rubin.
So you want to keep things under control.
okay, I keep track of this kind of stuff. So Simeon had 1 foul in 16 minutes. They've now committed 3 in 4.5.
Well, you know Kenwood's going to push the pace. They're not going to just sit back.
Griffith showing some skill, showing some hops, showing the finish.
Hello. And nobody's signed this kid? I know
my goodness.
Going on his first visit to Jacksonville tomorrow. Jacksonville better lock him up when they get him down there.
Would be the best player at Jacksonville since.
Artis Gilmore.
Very good.
What's this? Okay, this kid didn't have a D1 offer?
He's going to Jacksonville tomorrow. They better lock him up. If anybody's at the game today, he's going to have more than 1 offer tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to have more than 1 offer tomorrow, that's for sure. You look at this.
Everybody looks at size.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at size.
Okay, he's small, but look at what he's doing here. Crossover, splits the double team, takes the big guy with the little floater. Who cares how big he is if he can do that on a consistent basis?
Kid we saw up at Glenbrook North, Josh Fridman.
Yeah.
Point guard. Everybody you talk to says, hey, if the kid was 6'2", he'd be a Division I kid. That kid's a Division I kid at 5'8". And unfortunately, we thought he sprained his knee. He actually tore his ACL. But that kid he does everything that Jalen Griffith does. He makes everybody better. And that's such a gift in basketball. That's a gift in life. You make people better, you're going to be successful.
Yeah. Like Jim Blaney makes me better.
Somebody's got to help you.
And I try to make you better.
I don't know if it's working.
I like your suit. Nice suit. I like that.
I'll tell you what, I looked at you today and I was like, holy cow, it better be on. You got 45 diamonds on your hand. You got pinstripe, checkerboard suit, white tie.
It's Kenny McReynolds Day.
Wow.
Every day it's Kenny McReynolds Day.
Now they're going to his zone. They're going to force him to make a perimeter shot.
Kenwood has to do something here, and they tried to pass through the defense, and it results in a turnover.
They're boxing 1 on Day-Day.
Well, they've been denying Day-Day the ball all day.
Oh, nice move. That's great pass.
And that shot was blocked and then picked up by Calvin Robbins. Here come the Broncos. They've got to get something going here because when you're behind Simeon double digits going to the 4th quarter, you might as well just put it as a loss. It's a little runner by Chris Riddle that goes.
Riddle, a top 5 player in the junior class, went to prep school last year, first year here at Kenwood.
Beautiful feed. The Rubens team up for another bucket.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to stop.
You don't get the ball to Day-Day early, he doesn't get it back in the possession. They got to get him the ball on 94 feet, so he's got the ball in his hands.
3-pointer, and Tyler Smith missed it.
They're just daring him to shoot from the perimeter.
Because we've seen it so many times over the years, guys. Look at the situation. 17-point deficit for Kenwood. They've got a little more than 10 minutes to go, and this is where Simeon goes into that deliberate offense where they run the sets and they just milk the clock down and don't make mistakes. And that's why Simeon is so hard to come back against.
And then Calvin Roberts just sets a illegal screen. Roberts sets an illegal screen. You can't afford mistakes like that when you're chasing 7.
Because you know in the 4th quarter, Simeon's going to spread the floor and take their time.
Well, they're just going to be poised. Like I said,
There he is.
Broncos basketball.
I mean, the best example to me of it was, I think it was Derrick Rose's senior year when they played Richwoods in the state championship game.
that was a rock fight.
Yep.
And it was just slow it down, make the game last.
That was more Peoria slowing it down.
Right, but who was the coach at Richwood?
Mike Ellis.
Yes, Mike Ellis, who's now at Evanston. And I mean, it was a brilliant plan, and it almost worked.
Well, a lot of things are close to working, but you got Derrick.
Right.
Derrick Rose.
Exactly. Minute and a half to go here in the third quarter. Simeon, you would think, will go to the run game and try to run some clock on every possession now, too.
Two guys and everybody. They're going to shoot nothing but layups. Simeon, if they keep the ball spread, keep the ball in the middle of the floor, they'll shoot layups.
So, Rick, how frustrating is it to play against a team like this that can do this?
Well, when you can do this, I mean, they can do this, they can do that, they can do a little bit of everything, right? They can hurt you inside, they can hurt you outside, they can handle the ball, they shoot it in today. I mean, this has been their Achilles heel. They've been turning it over, and they haven't shot it well from the perimeter. Today, they're taking care of the ball perfectly, and they're shooting it in. Hard to beat.
Time now for our move of the quarter, brought to you by Southern Illinois University Carbondale. And, well, when you're going to have a move of the quarter, look at Jalen Griffith. Crossover, cut into the lane, and then throw it over one of the bigs. It's easy stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's got that thing on it. His handle is solid.
Look at that move. Unbelievable.
Move of the quarter brought to you by Southern Illinois University in Carbondale.
Maybe Southern Illinois University should take the kid.
Well, somebody should.
As a proud graduate of the University of Northern Colorado, which is a Division I basketball program, by the way,
I'm glad you had to say something because nobody else would know that.
Well, I hear about these guys that aren't getting offers. I'm like, okay, come on, Bears. Just hasn't been the same since Tad Boyle left for Colorado. They went to the tournament under Tad Boyle.
Hey, normally, if you talk to a guy that goes to Harvard, you know how they went to Harvard?
They tell you.
Because they tell you. Yeah, but that's different than Northern Colorado.
Hey, I will have you know.
Proud of that.
Northern Colorado is regarded as the Harvard of the Front Range, my friend.
Yeah.
So
to Northern Colorado.
Just don't go there expecting to do a lot of skiing. We had a lot of kids from the East Coast would go to school there to go ski. They found out later on there's no ski resorts within about 4 hours. Jumper from the top of the key, that won't go. And the problem shooting the basketball continue for Kenwood, and Robbins goes up with it. Had it knocked out of his hands, we'll get a foul call.
Kenwood's got to pick up here on the full court. They got to get Simeon in a couple traps. They've got to turn him over.
Most importantly, he had to make these free throws.
Robbins at the line for the Broncos. 2 shots.
And they already sent their guys back, so I guess they're not going to pick up on the full.
Have to make your free throws. They need points and in a hurry.
They need stops.
Offensive
bucket.
That was close.
So you go offensive interference?
Yep, that was close.
Basket interference. Wolverines basketball.
Final minute of the third quarter.
They're playing a 1-3-1 here, trapping. What a pass.
And what a finish. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. The ball's going to go around the perimeter. Somebody cuts down the lane. The pass is on the money. But the ball's in the bucket on a high percentage shot.
And with that 1-3-1, the baseline's going to be open.
You know what? Why not in your last city championship game, why don't you just play a perfect game for your coach? Why don't you just send him out with a perfect game?
Robbins got fed in the low post, missed the shot. And Wes Rubin with the rebound.
Well, I won't say it's been perfect, but I would say it's been like 99.9%.
I'll take this.
I would say
basketball's never perfect. This is pretty darn close.
This is close.
I would say so far it's been stylistically perfect for the way Simeon has played all these years. There's another great example for you. That goes in at the buzzer by Michael Ratliff. The Simeon Wolverines are rolling. They're up by 20 at the end of 3 over Kenwood. Fourth quarter coming your way. This is the game of the week on CW 26. Today's game is brought to you by SIU. Imagine the possibilities. SIU Carbondale. Fourth quarter of the CPS Boys Championship game. 53-33, Simeon has the lead.
Hey, Kenwood's legacy this year might be that they were going to be the last people to ever beat Rob Smith. Because Rob Smith ain't losing today, and there's a good chance he doesn't lose the rest of the way and win a state championship.
Well, let's talk about that, Rick, because Simeon will be the #1 seed in the Glenbard South Sectional.
And they're playing 3A.
Right. They're playing 3A.
That's
and
illegal. That's illegal.
The top 4 seeds in that section are Mount Carmel is number 2, Hyde Park number 3, St. Lawrence number 4. So I don't want to offend anybody, but it looks to me like the first challenge is going to come if they have to play Hyde Park or Mount Carmel in a section final.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Hyde Park's good. So is Mount Carmel.
Yeah, well, we did the Mount Carmel game. We did the Mount Carmel St. Rita game.
And
Mount Carmel's
great.
good. They played great.
They played great.
You know what? Yeah, it's going to be tough. Well, where it would get interesting is if Simeon can get to the super sectional, they might.
Hillcrest?
Yes, exactly.
Now that'll be a match.
Oh, it's going to be at Hillcrest.
So here we go with the fourth quarter.
But they're going to be so difficult to beat in 3A.
And it'd be different. It's difficult to play in 4A if they play 4A. Look at that
Nice pass.
And over the years, Simeon has bounced back and forth between 4 and 3.
I think if he gets tired of winning 4A championships, he goes to 3. If he gets tired of winning 3A championships,
He'll go back up.
4.
Cut to the basket, and as Rick told you, all the shots are going to be layups from now on, and that was Michael Ratliff.
And you're speaking on the other end, Kenwood was 0 for 6 from 3 in the third quarter, and they could not afford that.
How about this number? Through 3 quarters, Simeon 17 assists, 6 turnovers.
Wow.
And that will be a foul on the floor, and that call is going to go against Miles Rubin. That is number 4 for Miles Rubin, and I'm guessing even though you're up 22, Miles might become no. And you know what? Here's the thing too. Rob saying straight up, we've worked on this.
Well, coach is coach until the clock says 0-0.
First basket good.
He's not going to relax.
Maybe we'll just save the one more Mark Kruger interview with Rob Smith until the super sectionals. They will get lucky in that regard.
Has Mark interviewed him 2,500 times?
Yes, I think he probably has.
When you're in the winner's circle that often, you're going to get interviewed.
And that's a turnover. And let's see, no movement in the bullpen.
Where's Kenwood playing sectional?
I can tell you that, Kenny. They will be in the 4A St. Rita sectional.
Oh, okay.
They will be, Kenwood 1, Brother Rice 2, Rita 3, and Marist 4. There's a jam home by Chris Riddle.
Well, I will say one thing. That St. Rita's section is going to be really good and a lot of fun to watch.
And 2 consecutive trips up the floor and 2 consecutive buckets. That's Day-Day Ames.
They might have taken timeout. Their first timeout, they're going to call all day. You know there's going to be no quit.
No. Oh, what a pass.
Wow. 3 consecutive trips with a score.
Rebound?
Yes, Day-Day Ames again.
No timeout yet.
Well, no timeout, but a sub is coming. Michael Ratliff splits the defense, stolen away again.
Hey, we might have been talking too soon.
And laid in by Isaiah Green, and the lead is down to 13 with 6 to go.
Well, how many times have I talked about getting offense from your defense? And that's exactly what Kenwood has done the last 4 possessions that Simeon has had the basketball. There have been turnovers and steals, so this run has come on the defensive end.
And Simeon, who was playing a perfect game, did not play a perfect last minute and a half. They turned it over, and every turnover was a live ball turnover. Every live ball turnover turned into a layup.
And every turnover was at the very beginning of the possession once they crossed half court.
Chris Riddle started it all off with that monster dunk. I think it woke everybody up.
Still a big hill to climb, but they've chewed into the lead.
Well, it is certainly woken the crowd up. The bands are playing. The people are pom-poms are waving. The upper deck is open. This is what high school basketball is all about.
You got to love the drum line.
Oh, yeah.
You got to love the drum line.
There they go.
That's a great drum line. Just give me drums. That's all I need. Give me drums.
And I've worked with Jim enough to know he's a bass player type of guy.
No,
He
guitar.
Guitar.
Always love the guitar players.
What's the difference?
Well, you're in northern Colorado. You know what you're doing out there.
Yeah, I don't know the difference between a guitar.
Same thing as our trick shooter.
Guitar, bass, same thing to me.
Well, a turnover and a 3 would make it a 10-point game and really get everybody's attention.
Okay, this is where Jalen Griffith has to be the senior point guard for Simeon. He needs to take care of the basketball. He needs to get a good shot for his teammate or put something in himself.
They tried to get the trap at half court, and Mosley's going to get called for a foul.
And if I'm Kenwood, coach, I'm going to let Griffith touch the basketball if possible.
Well, it's hard to do, but on the other end, they've done that to Day-Day. They kept
I know it's hard to do, but I tell you, I'm not going to make it easy on him.
And for the rest of the game, Simeon shooting. So that just put Kenwood in the 7th foul. So they're going to be shooting. They got to make their free throws. Coach is just saying, let's push it up, let's guard, let's go. We see some life.
This is only the 15th free throw combined between the two teams in this game.
Those are two big. That stopped the bleeding right there.
Puts the lead back to 15, and that was Ratliff going down at midcourt.
Hey.
Foul on the floor.
On the floor.
No basket. Ball called against the Wolverines.
So this is what they needed to do. They needed to get Day-Day the ball in the full court because they can't get it to him in the half court. And once he gets it, he's going to create stuff for either himself or for others.
But what a screen, huh?
This thing's kind of game right now is like Rick's 68 Malibu in high school. It's leaking a little oil.
Isaiah Green needed that. Kenwood needed that. That's the first 3 made by anybody other than Day-Day.
Margin is 12 with 5:21 to go.
You don't want to go in the corners if you're Simeon.
Uh-oh, there it is.
No wasted dribbles. Keep the ball out of the corner. Break them down and then re-extend them and then take it to them.
Caden space with the basketball for Simeon. Lost the handle.
That's a double dribble. Well, basketball has really changed. When I was playing, that was a double dribble.
And Jalen Griffith gets fouled on his way to the bucket.
That was a good possession for Simeon. He kept the ball for about 45 seconds, and then they get fouled and put Jalen Griffith to the free throw line.
Well, you know, in the fourth quarter, that's Simeon basketball. Take your time, spread the floor. Don't take a bad shot. Look for a layup.
First free throw miss on a third try by Jalen Griffith.
Travel.
That was a 1-and-1.
It was a 1-and-1.
Everybody just stood around watching. That was crazy.
Yeah, and Mike Irvin saw that and was saying, wait a minute, that's the travel.
Rob Smith almost went out and shot it for him. He saw that also.
And now we get
offensive and a tee.
And that is going to be on Ratliff.
An offensive foul first on Day-Day. Let's sort this out.
Look at Mike saying travel. Wait a minute. He just picked up the ball and walked with it.
That's a good dance. That looked like Kenny 20 years ago, one of those dance moves.
40 years ago.
So
we're gonna have free throws here.
I love what Mayor Lightfoot said about Mike Irving. She said he's one of the more entertaining coaches in the city.
Yeah. They could make it a 10-point game.
Well, it was a little bit of a leaner, but Day-Day got it to go. He's 3 of 3 from the line right now. And
at the start of this quarter, I did not anticipate with 5 minutes to go, 4:45, that could be a 10-point game.
I didn't either.
Simeon had it on cruise control.
And Kenwood's going to get the ball after the toe.
Why would Kenwood get the ball? There was also a foul, an offensive
Technical
foul.
foul.
I know, but there was an offensive foul on Day-Day Ames. How do they sort that out? A jump ball and alternate possessions?
Was it an offensive foul?
Well, the arrow's on Kenwood right now. The question becomes, does it switch? No, the arrow stays with Kenwood.
I don't quite understand that. I thought they called an offensive foul on Day-Day, and then they called a technical foul. So you get the free throws.
Mosley for a single-digit deficit, missed, fouled, and Mosley tipped his own shot. 9-point game.
Now all of a sudden there's a little tentative streak going on in the Simeon guys.
And again, the ball struggled to get to its target. Jalen Griffith, little runner, and it goes.
Boy, what a tough shot.
Kenwood playing their hearts out, get beat by that shot.
Three-pointer on the way, and it was halfway down and did not fall for Isaiah Green.
That ball did everything but go in, rolled around, and then came right back out.
But Tyler Smith then goes and follows it up and gets to the free throw line. This is what you expect from Kenwood right here. They're getting their athleticism into the game. They're crashing the offensive board. And Simeon has not been able to get a defensive rebound.
The question always becomes, when you dig yourself such a hole, do you use up all of your energy in the last few minutes? You have nothing left. You get tired.
That's a good
and there's the free throw that was short, which means what, Coach? Tired.
Tired legs.
Yep.
But it's an 11-point game. They cut it to 10. It's, the game's still in the balance. Simeon needs to handle the basketball and shoot in layups.
Tyler Smith playing with 4 fouls, by the way. He makes the second of the 2 free throws, so that makes it a 10-point margin with 1 tick under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Kenwood's been everywhere on defense the last 7-8 possessions.
Caden spaced into the front court, passed out of the double team. Sam Lewis.
You don't want to dribble it there. You don't want to dribble it there.
And he threw it late over the middle, and then a foul.
Well, gets the ball, dribbles it to the dead corner, and then throws a duck.
But the foul stopped the fast break.
I don't care what sport it is. You throw it late over the middle, and it's going to be trouble.
That was just a bad decision. Got to keep the ball in the middle of the court, and you got to save your dribble.
Boy, look at Day-Day Ames. He's exhausted. And you can see Mike Irvin saying, keep fighting, Day-Day, keep fighting.
They need him.
You can tell he's tired.
Isaiah Green's a 58% free throw shooter and got that one to go. And the lead is single digits right now.
Yep. Coach Irvin's case, keep fighting, keep fighting. You know they're going to keep fighting.
Oh, yeah.
8-point game with 3:43 to go.
Crazy.
Jalen Griffith had it knocked away for a moment. And there they go again into the corner. Caden Spaeth, there's a double team.
Keep the ball in the middle.
Triple team on Jalen Griffith. Dished it off.
What a block.
And that's a clean block, but it will be Simeon basketball.
Oh, that is a clean block. Great recovery by Doolin. That was a clean block.
Yeah, Griffith dribbles out of a triple team, feeds it on a platter.
Great recovery.
Unbelievable. There's so much athleticism on this Kenwood team. So much athleticism on the floor.
Yeah.
Kenwood just got a late wake-up call, it seems. This is a totally different team now than what we saw for the first 2.5 quarters.
Mike Irvin said at halftime, they'll be ready. Here they come.
Chance to further chew into an 8-point deficit. Day-Day Ames with the basketball.
They're running 3 at him.
Which means 2 should be open.
Isaiah Green goes to the bucket. And it is a 6-point lead for Simeon.
Look at Mike Irvin. Went all the way out to midcourt to make sure the referee saw the timeout.
Mike Irvin, I'll tell you what, he has kept his team confident and kept them in the game the whole time. No quit, Kenwood.
All right, we expect now a tight finish. Let's go to our players of the game. First of all, for the Simeon Wolverines, we're going to go with Jalen Griffith because He's taken care of the basketball very, very well for the first part of this game, and he's really been the glue that's been kind of holding it together now during this rally for Kenwood. 9 points, 8 assists so far. He's our player of the game for Simeon. Meanwhile, on the other side for Kenwood, as Kenny pointed out, Day-Day Ames is gassed. He's been working hard, but he's the guy that's got to stay in. 13 points so far in the game, and he's our player of the game for Kenwood. But a long way to go now.
Oh my, momentum is such a crazy thing in sports. When you get it going, it is hard to turn the tide. And right now, Simeon needs something to turn the tide because Kenwood's got all the momentum.
And Simeon's fans are not in the ball game. With all the Kenwood people are here.
They might have left. They were up 20. They might have taken off.
Because right behind us, you can see all the red, the pom-poms are waving, everybody's dancing.
And anybody that just came to the gym to watch the game, they love the underdog story. So they're all cheering for Kenwood right now.
9 team fouls for both teams. So from here on in, we're shooting 2 free throws every time there's a foul.
Look at that.
Nearly a turnover into the backcourt.
We got a 4-point game. This is crazy.
This is unbelievable. It was a 20-point ball game
4 minutes ago.
And
oh my.
He ran out of bounds.
And another turnover, and Rob Smith has to call another timeout with 2:34 to go.
What are they talking about here?
Well, they're bringing Mosley over.
I don't know why.
And they're not giving Rob Smith the timeout. Why aren't they giving him a timeout?
He's on the floor asking for a timeout.
On who?
So Rob Smith wanted a technical foul on Mosley for standing over his player.
For taunting.
But a good job by the official, but at this point of the game, not calling that.
This is to make it a one-possession game. Simeon led by 20.
To start the quarter.
And the foul by Mosley, and it's a 2-point game.
And you see panic a little bit on a couple of these Simeon kids' faces. They haven't gotten a defensive rebound this quarter. Every time Kenwood's missed, they tipped it in.
That was nearly a travel by Space when he picked up his dribble. Jalen Griffith somehow kept possession, now lost it, and the Broncos have it. They have the arrow as well. Kenwood basketball, a chance to tie or take the lead.
Okay, have you ever seen a comeback like this quick?
Not since John Shire scored 50 points in 3 seconds at the Proviso West tournament.
They still lost.
But they lost the game.
This is unbelievable.
This place will go up for grabs if Kenwood scores on this possession.
They got to keep doing what got them here. Keep driving it hard to the rim like that.
Takeaway. Jalen Griffith up the floor on Mosley. Goes up high. Can't get it. Wes Rubin there for the foul.
And one.
Oh, I didn't hear the whistle.
You're not going to hear any whistles the rest of the way out of this thing.
Yeah. So we get a slip, a fall, a takeaway. Griffith goes in, just throws it up on the glass.
And you're going to call Mosley with the foul. Hit it again. You go up, Mosley with the hand.
That's a
little ticky-tack foul if I've seen one.
Ticky-tack.
Boy, I tell you that.
With all the stuff we've seen today.
Yeah, that was.
Rubin completes the and one. That's put Simeon back up by 4. Make that 5.
Yeah, we've seen more contact at the concession stand tonight, Rick. They're going to that foul they just called right there. Especially with a minute and a half to go.
I think I saw more contact you going for the free T-shirts and stuff.
Well, over. Yeah, well, you know I'm going to always go for the free T-shirts. But you know what? I don't want to say the referee's done a bad job.
No,
it's a job. It's a job I can't do. But in this situation, with this comeback, this crowd in a championship situation, that was a foul that could have been let go.
Well, what a comeback. I don't care what happens here. If you would have told me that Kenwood was going to be within 4 a second ago, within 3,
Oh, within
They were
15.
within 2, and it was a 3-point play.
Within 15.
Yeah.
They were down by 20.
I mean, what a heart they've shown so far here today. Let's see if they can finish it. You got to get over the hump. So many times on comebacks, you get right to the precipice,
Right.
and you don't get over the hump, and then you never do.
Well, I don't know what that means, but I know
Precipice.
you get tired.
Northern Colorado doesn't know what that means either. You got to go to Bradley.
Hey, there's been some big games, boys, between Northern Colorado and North Dakota over the years.
And this is, speaking of good games, I love this game.
And for 3 quarters, it was very uncharacteristic of what we expected. Now it's almost uncharacteristic going the other way, because you never would have thought that a team down by 20 to the Simeon Wolverines would be able to come back.
And double bonus both ways. Day-Day taking it coast to coast.
And got it to go. 3-point lead for Simeon. They have the basketball. Minute 13 to go.
Keep it out of the corner, Simeon. Keep it up high.
They really want Jalen Griffith to be the guy handling the basketball. He has it right now.
You don't want ball screens here. You don't want to invite a double team.
Tyler Smith is on him, and Tyler Smith is playing with 4 fouls.
Yeah, he's finally on a count. He just put him on a... Oh, wow.
Off his legs.
Tyler Smith putting the D on.
Kenwood has only made 3 3-pointers in the game. Ames has 2. Isaiah Green has 1. Of 3 would tie it.
Day-Day.
Tied it!
Oh, my. Oh, my. Do you play for 1 here? This is nuts.
34 seconds left.
Do you play for 1?
Yep.
Jalen Griffith has it. Now the Simeon fans are coming to their feet.
Everybody's coming to their feet. I'm on my feet. Griffith's got to be the guy to make the decision.
10 seconds. Griffith with 6. Griffith goes in. Couldn't get it to fall. Maybe one last chance. No, we are going to overtime.
Welcome to Kenny McRiddle's day.
Oh, my. Kenwood going to overtime with all the momentum on their side now. Let's see if Simeon can right the ship.
Kenwood outscored Simeon 29-9 in that 4th quarter to make up a 20-point deficit at the end of 3.
And tell people to turn their TV back on if they turned it off.
Well, the key thing was defense. Kenwood got back into this game on the defensive end. Here it is again. Here's Day-Day. Here's your All-American, the guy that I thought had a great chance to be a McDonald's All-American with the jumper. Here's just the one that ties it up.
He scored in the last 5 points after he wasn't able to touch the ball for most of the game.
One of the things that I've always loved about covering high school sports is when you see a guy like Day-Day Ames just did, when you need to come through in the clutch, when you need to make a big play, everybody is watching you, and you go in and you drain it.
Well, that's why he's special. That's why the kid is special. That was an unbelievable 4th quarter by Kenwood.
This will be the 5th overtime for the Simeon Wolverines in the last 3 days.
Wow. They played 4 OTs on Thursday. They will probably be some tired legs at the end of the day.
Okay, how about this, guys? At the end of 3 quarters, Simeon had 17 assists to 16 turnovers. Now, at the end of 4 quarters of play, 18 assists to 17 turnovers. They turned it over 11 times in that 4th quarter. And Rick, we talked about it, that one of the problems Simeon has had, especially within the last few weeks, is turning the basketball over.
And not only did they turn it over, but those turnovers led to layups on the other.
Exactly. You know, it was 4 consecutive possessions that Simeon turned the ball over, that Kenwood came away with 8 points.
Look at the body language of the players on the floor right now. Look at the Kenwood guys versus what the Simeon guys look like.
I think the Simeon guy there in shock.
Yes.
What a comeback by Kenwood. Holy cow.
I tell you what, They got here late. Upper deck is open, but everybody got their money's worth tonight.
CP has done a great job with this game.
Oh, yeah.
Mosley wins the tip.
And Mosley tipped that on the way up. Could they take the lead? I don't think they've had the lead since the first few minutes.
They had a 7-0 lead to start the game. Down the floor, Simeon running the break, and now they'll pull it back out. Caden Space with the basketball for the Wolverines. Now Jalen Griffith. They clear that side of the floor. Griffin's the only Wolverine over on that side. Three-pointer on the way, off the back of the iron. Rashard McKinney couldn't hit.
And then who gets it? The smallest guy on the floor.
For the lead.
Oh, my.
Down the bottom of the drain, that's a 2.
Boy, he's tough.
That's a senior leader right there. So you got Day on one end, you got Jalen Griffin, both of them refusing to lose.
Day Ames with it. McKinney right on top of him. Ames dribbles out, cleared himself, fall away, wouldn't go.
They got to clear the board. Simeon can't get a defensive rebound.
Huge rebound for Chris Riddle. Three-pointer on the way for the lead. And the Wolverines get the rebound. Wes Rubin pulls it down, and now Simeon a chance to take a 2-possession lead here in overtime. Space and Griffith running the backcourt. Space got free, goes to the bucket. Simeon up by 4.
Well, he turned that corner, had a clear path to the basket.
And this is what we talked about. Kenwood used all that energy to tie it and get it to overtime, and it's almost like, okay, we got there, and then you forget you have more basketball to play. Can they recover and get on the board here in overtime? Timeout called by Mike Irvin.
Smart timeout. Smart timeout. Settle everybody down.
Give them a little rest, catch your breath.
And Ratliff and Griffith just making big plays on the other end when Simeon needed big plays.
This has been everything we thought it would be.
But it took us a while to get there.
Yeah. Took us a while to get there, but we got there. It took us a while to get there, but we got there. But what a ball game.
If the city had started engraving the trophy at the end of the third quarter, they got to erase that.
Yeah.
I always wonder that, particularly when you watch the British Open on TV, the guy starts engraving. It's like, okay, what if something happens?
Yeah.
How do you go back and erase it? What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? Let's take a look at
2 buckets by Simeon here in overtime, Rick.
Yeah, Jalen Griffith just coming off of the ball screen. They go underneath, and he just nails it. And then the second one, just a great job by Ratliff, just keeping his dribble alive. Almost got erased at the basket. Just a strong move. Kenwood's got to answer right here.
Yeah, you get down 3 possessions in overtime. It's a tall task, but you know what? We thought a 20-point lead was safe too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I'm going to shut up. I ain't going to say anything about the game being out of hand or over.
You see that all the time in the NBA, and you see it because the quarters are longer and the shot clock. To come back from 20 with no shot clock is simply a mind-boggling feat.
In 8 minutes.
Well, they went from 20 to 10 in about less than a minute. I mean, there were multiple turnovers, multiple layups, couple putbacks.
Day Ames trying to get free, fights his way to the basket. He got fouled to go to the line.
And this is what we talked about early on the open. He gets to the free throw line. He puts himself in position where you got to make a decision. You can't give him a perimeter shot, and he's so good with the basketball, getting you off balance. He gets to the rim, and he doesn't miss free throws much.
He is an 83% free throw shooter. He's 3 of 4 from the line so far in this game. Edwan dueling back into the game. Tyler Smith comes out. Tyler Smith, remember, has 4 fouls. And Caden Space just picked up a foul, and that's his 4th.
Well, right now, you can't particularly worry about fouls. You just got to play.
Got to go play. Simeon with the ball, up by 2.
But Kenwood is just everywhere right now. Wherever the ball is, they got 1 or 2 guys guarding it.
Griffith gave a little bit of a push there with the right hand. Minute and a half to go.
Oh, he traveled.
And Kenwood will have a chance to tie it maybe take the lead. Tyler Smith comes back in. Edwan Dooling goes and takes a seat.
And if I'm Kenwood, I don't look for the three. I look for the best shot.
Oh,
if it's
for sure.
open, take it.
Well,
you don't have to have the
If I'm
three.
Kenwood, I look for Day-Day. That's what I'm looking for.
Kenwood has never won a CPS title. This is as close as they've ever been. Day-Day Ames picks up the double team, passed out, three-pointer for no offensive foul, no basket.
Oh, my.
Number 3 on Day-Day Ames.
Let's look at that. And he looked like he had lost his balance going forward. I just followed the pass. That was a charge. You got his shoulder right into
got
his
his
chest.
shoulder into it. Yep.
Anytime you get your shoulder in the chest, they're going to call that. Great take.
With or without the ball.
Ooh, one-handed pass cross court. This is where they got to go with the ball. Right there to the free throw line, the middle of the court. He's got to keep getting the ball back. Jalen Griffith's got to get over.
Under a minute. Blocked shot, and then the foul and the cleanup by Wes Rubin. 19 points for Rubin. Timeout. Simeon leads by 4.
Rubin in the right place at the right time.
Under a minute to go.
Then the shot is blocked, and Rubin is right there to put it back in. So
Sometimes the ball bounces right where you need it to go.
Yep, right where you want it to be.
We thank CW26 for putting this unbelievable game
I think
over the air on CW26 today. We really appreciate it. We go back to the U for our next game, which will be a girls super sectional coming up on the 27th of February.
I think Coach Smith's saying, hey, this is why I'm retiring. Right here. Right here. Hey,
Right
tell
here.
the ref, hey, you know what? This is why I'm retiring. I was up 20 a couple minutes ago, and now we're in overtime.
Right. That will really, really drive coaches crazy.
And now he tells his assistant coaches, just take over, will you please? Let me retire in peace.
Well, and Kenny and I talk about this a lot. This is normal for Simeon. I mean, even lets players run the huddle at times. Okay, so let's take a look again
Key call.
at the offensive foul
It was a key
as
call.
Day-Day Ames passed it off.
Slips.
But the shoulder, that's why you get the whistle.
Yeah, Space did a great job of getting in front.
So Kenwood again now in a position where they really must score. 55 seconds to go, down by 2 possessions.
You know, there are certain games where afterwards you feel like there were no losers.
Oh, there's
know,
no losers here.
Yeah. I mean, this has been a great game right before the state tournament to
Yes.
get both these teams ready. They get a week off, get their legs right.
Yeah, 2 great championship teams.
Although Kenwood has a game scheduled on Tuesday night against De La Salle before they go to the state tournament. Little runner, hard hit, players down, no foul call.
He's down hurt.
He's hurt.
Day-Day Ames is down, and
They got to call timeout. He's hurt.
Kenwood playing with 4 players right now. The clock is running, 32 seconds left. Day-Day Ames still down on the floor, and we get a whistle. And Rob Smith is saying, why are you blowing the whistle?
I get it from Rob's standpoint.
Yeah, Rob's saying we had the basketball,
I get it.
but Day-Day is hurt.
They weren't advancing. They were holding. As a ref, you got to call timeout there and make sure the kid's okay.
Boy, he went down hard and no whistle. A lot of contact, but no whistle was blown.
This is officials time.
But it's 2 calls in a row where Day-Day put himself in a position to either get fouled or foul. They called the offensive foul the first time. Let's take a look and see if he gets hit on this.
Well, he got hit.
Boy, you heard a big thump when he hit the floor.
Oh, and he cleared out a little bit with his right arm. I mean, he was going up against some size right here with Rubin. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you say on that because
Well,
he
the
did
referee
clear out
had
with
no
his right arm.
no foul because
He
could have
really
been
hurt. He's really hurt.
no foul call either way. Oh boy, he's
Well,
hurt.
more importantly, let's hope the kid's okay.
Yeah, let's hope the kid's okay.
Let's clap it up, ladies and gentlemen. He's on his feet.
Day-Day Ames is trying to walk it off. Now, if they stop the game because you are injured, you have to come
gotta
out,
go
right?
He's got to go out. And I think just common sense means he needs to come out right now. He took a hard fall.
Well, you heard the thud when he hit the ground, hit the floor. You heard the boom.
Yeah, let's reset it now. They're going to have to inbounds the ball. Are they giving it to him on the side or on the baseline? 4-point lead, 32 seconds. They got to get the ball in play.
And Day is going right back to the scorer's table, so he'll be back in on the next dead ball. So how do you do this if you're Kenwood? Because
foul right away.
Right away.
You go for a 5 count if you get one. You look take an offensive foul off of a screen. Otherwise, you got a foul.
And then it's double bonus, so Simeon will get 2 free throws.
Yeah, don't let Jalen Griffith touch it.
Ball not in yet, and timeout.
Great job by Kenwood.
Well, they almost got their 5.
The ball never came in, so he can't come in,
Can't
right?
come in, no, he can't come in.
Got to be a tick off the clock. Not a lot of guys on Kenwood were really breaking to get open right there. They could let the inbounder struggle. Nobody was open.
I don't really know how healthy Day is right now, but he's sure not letting anybody know if he's not.
Warrior. He's a warrior.
Yep. That's why he's a superstar.
Remember, he had the clutch baskets in that 4th quarter as they were mounting the comeback.
Right.
That is not a good feeling right there right now. It's like, I got to get into the game. And that was almost stolen away, but it's a foul on Isaiah Green.
That was pretty clean.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so Miles Rubin is going to go to the line. He's 3 out of 4 from the line. He's made his last 3 in a row.
Boy, Isaiah Green did everything he was supposed to do. Wow.
Day Ames will come in after the first free throw.
2 shots. First basket, Miller.
Big free throw.
Well, I can't wait to see Rubin at Loyola put about 15, 20 pounds on him. I think he's going to be some kind of a player.
He's still growing. He's a legit 6'10".
6-point lead for Simeon, 30 seconds to go.
They're going to get Day. They're going to give him a ball screen, and he's going to pull up from 3. He's taking it to the...
Day drives, runner, didn't get it. Rebound by Miles Rubin, up the floor, and Wes Rubin's going to finish it off.
Now you can size the ring for Rob Smith. Now you can engrave the trophy.
Rubin to Rubin.
21 for Wes Rubin. And then a block on the other end by Miles.
Let's get a shot of Rob Smith.
Look at Rob.
Rob is celebrating.
You don't see Rob celebrate very often. You don't see this. Oh, look at the Showtime behind the back, the reverse dunk. But you look at Rob Smith, you don't see Rob.
A lot of emotion coming out of Rob Smith right now.
That's about the most emotion I've seen out of Rob Smith in the 20 years I've known him.
Yeah, look at him.
Rob Smith, look at this.
To heaven. Yep, coach, you're going there someday.
He will finish his career with yet another CPS title. Simeon wins it in overtime over Kenwood, 72-64. But once again, the story is not told by the score. Simeon led by 20 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Kenwood made a furious comeback in the 4th to send it to overtime. And then finally, Simeon finishes it off and gives Robert Smith his 8th CPS title. Our next game on Game of the Week is coming up Monday, February 27th. IHSA Girls 4A Super Sectional. We will see you at 7 o'clock on February 27th on the U. For Mark Kruger, Rick Malnati, Kenny McReynolds, I'm Jim Blaney. Thank you so much for joining us on the Game of the Week on CW 26.